Can you speak in your mic, guys?
Yes.
Just do blah 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 blah.
Just do blah blah blah. Raisan sakset.
Hello.
Raisan sakset.
Oh, it's a sunny day today, and I don't want to stay with you under the sun. Oh, under the sun.
And hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Radio Turku Summer Edition, episode 3 about artistic life in Turku. Here are your hosts, Noemi and
I am Simon, and today we are welcoming again two very talented people in the domains of arts.
Nathan and Antti.
Hello.
Hello.
Could you introduce yourself briefly, please? Antti, can you start?
Yes, thank you, and thanks for inviting me here. Very exciting. My name is Antti, and I'm from Turku. I've lived here all my life, and I'm doing music and theater and musical theater. So music and theater separately, and also musical theater. And I teach and perform and compose. And I also study musical theater right now, actually.
Yeah, and before you did like a master's degree in literature, from what I understood.
Yes, actually, my major was Finnish language, but also literature.
Is there something that you don't do?
Yes, there are things, also things that I don't do.
But he knows how to cook also.
Oh, yeah,
I tasted.
definitely. I love cooking.
And Nathan, can you tell us a bit about yourself?
Well, hello. I'm Nathan or Nathan. I'm from Belgium. I live in Brussels, and I've been studying art for a while now. I did my Erasmus in Turku this autumn. I was in the art faculty of TUAS. And yeah, I discovered the city this year, and I've been coming back and forth ever since.
Yeah, how many times have you been coming back already?
I think it's the third time I'm in Turku, but I'm like staying for a month this time. So yeah, I really like the city.
So you are addicted now.
Yeah, he doesn't want to leave Turku anymore.
No.
Okay, well guys, I have prepared a small game for you to introduce yourself to each other, and also to Simo, who didn't know you before, and also to see who is the best at this game.
And so we can mix fun and facts about you.
Yeah, and Simo is participating. I asked you to name in English 2 projects to which you participate. For example, Noemi, I participated to the project Radio Turku. But I will mix the title of this project with 2 fake names. So for example, Radio Sari, Radio Kesäteatteri. And you have to guess which one is the real title of the real projects that I worked on. There are 3 titles. You need to guess which one is the real one.
3 proposition.
Okay. One truth, 2 lies.
Yeah, 1 truth, 2 lies. Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Summarized. Thank you.
That could be the name of the game for next time. Let's play 2 lies, 1 truth, or 1 truth, 2 lies.
Yeah.
So for the first one, Nathan will not participate because he worked on this project. Antti, Simo, I will give you 3 titles. Which one is a real project in which Nathan participated? Option 1, raw. Option 2, crusty. Option 3, ripe. Raw, crusty, or ripe? Very cookie.
What kind of person are you? Are you crusty or
raw or ripe?
I would say ripe, because I like how it sounds. It's like ripe.
It's translated from French. Yeah.
Okay.
Like Antti's projects, I translated them from Finnish.
Well, then I is it my turn?
Yeah.
I say raw, because that sounds raw.
Yeah, like the real thing. Like you want to talk about the real thing.
Go deep. Okay, Nathan, can you tell us about this project? Who won?
So Antti found the right answer.
Yeah. 1 point
I like
for
this
Antti.
game.
So in English the name is raw, but in French it's tout cru. and it's actually an animation film made by one of my classmates and a friend of mine, Jeanne Ruel. The animation film is her graduating film, so that's the film she did at the end of her studies, and I helped her on the animation and some coloring as well.
How do you help on animation? Can you explain a bit your work?
So this film was made digitally, so everything was on the computer. So she sent me some computer files of the software we work on, and she asked me, okay, can you do this and that?
So you draw?
Yeah,
or-
I've been
okay.
there is something we call drawing the in-betweens, which is for an animation film, usually we do 12 frame a second, so 12 drawings for each second of film.
Crazy.
But she might give me like a file with only 6 drawing a second, and she asked me to do all the in-betweens.
Yeah, you
all
have
the
to
the
fill
missing
in
fills.
blanks.
parts.
Yeah.
Okay. Second round, Antti cannot play because it's one of his projects.
Are you still going to like this game?
So, being gay is groovy, being gay is synth pop, or being gay is the new wave. Being gay is groovy, being gay is synth pop, being gay is the new wave.
So can we ask some hints, or we don't have the right to any hints?
Let's see, Antti, do you accept to...
Was it one of your regular theater or your music theater project?
Music theater.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it sounds musical.
Yeah,
all of
because
them are a bit connected to music.
the groovy part, I would. Okay, let's say groovy because you say music. So.
It's like complete poker face.
Yeah, like
No hints for you.
I would say being gay is synth pop.
Why?
I don't know, it sounds more like sparkly. I don't know.
uh-huh.
Okay, Antti, can you give us the real answer?
Nathan was right.
Oh my god, I suck
The
at this game.
artists are feeling each other. Huh?
I
Yeah.
suck.
Yes. Yeah.
So why being gay is synth pop?
Yeah. In Finnish, it's homous on syntikkapoppia, and actually, it's a bit difficult to translate because being gay is synth pop. It's a line that somebody from this theater group read before, and it was being gay is sin. Somewhere was this text. Being gay is sin.
Okay, it's a joke.
So,
Yeah,
so it's a joke.
It's a pun, okay.
Yeah.
And
It's a
and
pun.
then joke is that it's sin pop.
Oh yeah.
Transform
Yeah.
the insult.
And then it was a
Nice.
cabaret. Actually, it was cabaret where was synth pop music,
Okay.
So what was your role in this project?
and I was playing keyboards.
I assisted to the show, the music. You took real music, and then did you do the composition also? Or
No.
were
The songs were like covers. The group made new lyrics to the famous synth pop songs, and then there were different kind of characters, and it was a cabaret, so it was very funny.
Yeah.
and
very
you know,
lively, a
yeah,
lot of
and
interaction with the public.
Yeah, and lots of music. And Noemi was in our rehearsal.
Yeah, so actually it was hard because it was only in Finnish, but since they were singing, often there was a chorus repeated, so it was a bit easier to get. I remember that one of the actress, she could not sing because she had lost her voice. She was sick, and so someone
She was dubbed.
yeah, someone in the public was doing her voiceover. Every time she had to sing, it was.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
must
it
have
was
been
super
fun.
cool.
But it worked
Yeah.
pretty well, actually.
I think it was super funny because you didn't expect it. Every time she was like mimicking, lip syncing all the song. Yeah, so it gave a vibe of a drag queen show a bit. I thought because there was this lip sync
Yeah.
behind. Okay. Now, Nathan again, you cannot play.
Oh.
For the others,
I get to play all the time.
are you ready, Simon? And you fail all the time. Face the music, suck it up, bite the bullet. Face the music, suck it up, bite the bullet.
Again translated.
Yeah, again translated from French.
Okay. Everyone is sounds good,
Yeah.
good to me. But
How long was it in the end?
The animation.
The
movie?
animation, yeah.
Okay, so yes, it's an animation film as well, and that's about 8 minutes.
Okay, 8 minutes.
How does
So-
it help to?
I
guess
don't know.
the
I
title?
wanted to know, like, maybe there's a feeling of hurry, or maybe it's so suck it up, bite the bullet. What was the first one?
Face the music.
I go with bite the bullet.
Okay, I will go with Face the Music then, because I feel really musical today.
Okay, why bite the bullet?
I like the bees there.
Ah, okay. But it's translated, but actually it's again the right
okay.
answer.
Maybe it sounds good also in French.
Yeah, can you give us the title in French?
So yes, it's bite the bullet, and in French, actually it's like Belgian French because I'm from Belgium, and it's a Belgian expression. It's mort sur ta chic.
That I didn't know.
Monsieur,
Mort sur ta chic.
Oh,
Can you explain what
the
is
chic is
chic?
the chewing gum?
So it depends where in Belgium you are, because some people say chic for chewing gum and some other don't. For example, I'm from Liège specifically, and to me, chic means any candy. Like all the
Okay.
candies, they are chic. But for other places in Belgium, you can say chic to designate chewing gum. So yes, that's my animation film this time.
Oh la
so
la.
I made it
Okay.
myself. It's my name, everything, my story. It's very personal, a little deep, I would say bittersweet. I don't want to tell everything about it. I mean, I guess you would have to see it to get the emotion that I want to give you.
Ooh la la. A bit
Um,
of tension and suspense.
Yeah.
Because when is it released approximately?
So that's the film that I made this year, which is the end of my bachelor. So it's my bachelor film, which is not my graduating film yet, because I still
Ah.
have my master's to do. And I just finished it last month. So at this point, I will try to send it to animation film festivals, which is like the biggest platforms where we animators get to be seen and broadcasted first, especially as students, because we have our student categories and everything.
And we have an animation festival in Turku.
Turku.
Yes,
Yeah.
you have. When a film is in festival, actually they kind of want the exclusivity for the film, so it will be online at some point, but in a few years.
It's crazy, this kind of job where you work for 1 or 2 years on a project and it's released like only 3 years later. I would
Yeah.
be so frustrated. That's why I like theater, because you prepare, but you have the show, the direct contact with the public. It takes so much time in animation. When you
Yeah.
get a prize, it's like I've produced the the movie 5 years ago.
Yeah, even more in the film industry, for big production and everything, especially with COVID. Some films have been written in 2015 and they are just released now. So it's almost 10 years later. So imagine the delay of the idea that was behind.
Yeah, and imagine the producer or the actors for live movies, like when they get interviewed and they have to answer to questions that they don't even remember. I mean, it was
What
10
have I
years, 10 years
produced?
ago, yeah. So what did you feel when you were playing the role of blah, 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 blah? Have I ever done that before?
Okay, and the last one, Antti cannot play again. The title was in English, actually, because it comes from an English-speaking book. First option, Jekyll and Hyde, The Picture of Dorian Gray, or The Double. I will just give the authors of these novels for your general culture. Jekyll and Hyde from Stevenson, The Picture of Dorian Gray from Oscar Wilde, The Double from Dostoevsky.
Dorian Gray.
Actually, I would also say Dorian Gray.
Okay. And you both lost, and Antti won the game.
But I have to say that Dorian Gray is something that I'd love to do. That would be amazing.
Yeah. You're welcome. We are glad to give you the idea.
Yeah. So thank you both, you guys. But the answer is Jekyll and Hyde.
Okay.
Can you tell us about it?
Yes, it was, or actually it is, because we are still doing
Wink, wink.
performing it in September. It's my friend's school product. like final product in
Yeah, I
Arts
don't know how you
Academy.
call it.
It's a horror puppetry musical, and I composed the music in it. So it's not the original musical Jekyll and Hyde. We have new music there, and then two performers who also have these puppets.
Have they made the puppets themselves?
Actually, the director made the puppets.
So
And
Nice.
all the scenography and
that's great. What kind
Yeah.
of puppets are they?
very small ones. The fun part in it that the puppets are really small, but the music is really big and the story is really big. So
Yeah, quite dark.
yeah,
So there's a kind of contrast between how small and maybe cute they are and how deep and dark is the real matter of the.
exactly.
I mean, Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is quite a creepy story.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
It is.
yeah.
How do you invite the public for a puppet show during which the puppets are so small? Because you need a super small room, no? How can they see from far away otherwise?
Well, actually, this theater is kind of small. I think it's not a problem. Well, you couldn't perform it in a really large theater, of course.
Is it for all the audiences? Since it's puppet theater, I guess it's maybe also available for children.
No, well, no, it's not for
Okay.
children.
It's
I'd
killing
say.
women,
Yeah.
maybe. It's
Yeah,
not
it-
children friendly.
It could be a
Okay.
little scary for kids.
Yeah, it's funny because in France we are more used to puppet shows for kids.
Yeah, we
And I
don't
feel
really
that
do
in
puppet
Finland
shows for
it's really popular also for
Yeah.
adults. I didn't realize. Every time during the Finnish festival or Obosvenska Teatern also I've seen that they were puppet shows and I was surprised because it's not so popular nowadays in France, I feel.
But you can tell very different things with a puppet show,
Yeah.
and that, I also discovered that here. It's amazing what you can do. I mean, I also know this other person in Turku who does a puppet show to explain people quantum physics,
Okay.
and
Quite
apparently
precise.
they are going to show it in Helsinki, but maybe in Turku. But can you say again when you're gonna perform this show?
September the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in Tehdasteatteri. Actually, it's in
It's Manila?
It's Manila. Yes, in
Oh,
Manila. Yeah.
So we will put the link to this show in
Yes.
the description of the episode. Now I have more general questions about yourself and about creation in general. I would like to connect these questions to Turku first. So do you feel that creation is encouraged in Turku? I was thinking of the financial side. You both studied in TUAS, which is a School of Applied Science, ammattikorkeakoulu. What can you say about your education? Do you feel that artists collaborate with each other? This kind of thing. Are you encouraged in Turku to create?
Well, yes, I feel that I'm encouraged to create in Turku. My studies in Arts Academy encourage me to create and collaborate with other artists. In general, Turku is really nice city to create things. If you look at this beautiful city, you feel like inspiration and so on. Here are many active artists in Turku also. Lots of theaters.
Can you
For
present a
instance.
bit the theater in Turku?
A present.
Yeah, like describe them shortly. What are their specificities? For example, the Obosvenka Theater is mostly Swedish.
Yes.
And then what are the specificities of the other buildings?
Well, there are these bigger theaters like Kaupungin Teatteri and Linnateatteri, which make this really big shows. And then there are smaller ones, for instance, Turun Ylioppilasteatteri, which make different kind of art for different kind of audiences maybe.
Yeah, there are ephemeral theater. Like Finnish people are very much, I noticed, into these summer theater kind of
Yeah.
things. Every once in a while, only in summer, of course. And there are different places where they do this small summer theater. It's a nice culture.
Well, summer theater is another culture, yes.
So you would consider it as a different thing than
Yes.
the theater.
Absolutely, and that's really a Finnish thing, summer theaters. Or I don't know if there are
I've never
in France or
No.
Summer theater, yeah. I was working in Avignon, which is the biggest theater festival in France during summer. And there are a lot of small companies that come. I was working especially for the part of the festival that is trying to create new types of plays, like alternative theater. And for example, there is a lot of circus, there are a lot of performances that include the public. I went to a show where they made some people in the public participate on the stage, these kind of things. So yeah, breaking the fourth wall. But you are working at the moment in Kesäteatteri.
Yes, in Turun Kesäteatteri.
So what do you do?
Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm first time of my life. I'm mixing sound technician. Yeah, I like it. It's not very stressful.
And for
Actually.
which...
But I haven't had any problems yet. I guess I have to.
Knock on wood. I don't know if this is wood, but
And on which project are you sound engineering?
Ronja Ryövärintytar.
What is this show? Maybe we
yes.
can promote it also.
Is it that woman? We see a lot of advertising on the buses.
Yes.
Around the okay.
Actually,
you're working
yeah.
on that.
Yes.
It looks like a big thing.
I love
it
Finnish
is.
modesty. It's like, I'm working for the theater.
Yeah, and it's actually one of the big events in the summer. But
you know, it's not much. It was.
And yeah, that's for kids actually. And
Okay.
it's Swedish novel by Astrid Lindgren.
Okay.
Pippi Longström.
Yeah.
Same
Mother.
It's
Same person.
Fifi Brandacier in French.
Okay.
What's the plot?
Without spoilers.
Well,
I think this kind
No
of children's
spoiler.
book.
well, there are like two gangs of this. What is rövare? I don't know. Like
Our bad Finnish doesn't
Yeah.
help.
Maybe a clan.
Tribes.
well, there are two gangs, like in Romeo and Juliet. Then there are
Ah,
two gangs,
big
and
families.
Two
then
big
there-
enemies. Yeah.
Yes, they are enemies between each other, and then there is this daughter called Ronja. Then there is this son called Birk, and then they become friends. First they are enemies, and then they become friends.
So
Okay, and I spoiled it.
yeah, a Swedish Romeo and Juliet with less
For kids.
conspiracy, maybe
Less death.
less poison.
Do they die?
Don't say.
What happens at the very last minute of the show?
Okay, yeah.
But I was actually wondering, back to visual art, Nathan. What did you feel when you first came to Turku? Because first time I came to Finland, not only Turku, but I was like, oh my god, these Finnish people, they are crazy about art galleries. There are art galleries everywhere, little ones everywhere. Of course, there are the big museum, little art galleries. What did you feel about the visual arts life in Finland, but more especially in Turku? Do you like the museum? Is there one that you prefer? Some gallery?
I really like that there are several museums because sometimes you have one museum in your city and that's it. But I really liked that in Turku you have really different museums for different things. Some very specific that I would not maybe call art museums, but some are really art museums. And
Give us names.
no, but like you have
The WAM.
so yeah, the WAM is one of the museums, I think. Is it the
It's a Vaino Aaltonen museum.
Vaino Aaltonen? That's the same.
Modern art. Yes,
Yeah.
one, yeah.
Yeah, that one I liked a lot because I like contemporary and modern art, but I'm not really into I think there is like a planetarium museum or there is like a natural sciences museum. Those are not really my thing.
History. Yeah.
But
yeah,
but they
yeah,
are there too.
I was mostly thinking of real, like, art museum,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
visual
Real
art, and
art.
real art. No, not these silly. No, I think WAM is an
Yeah.
amazing museum. They always have great selection and great exhibition. Like,
Yeah, I really liked. Actually, what I like a lot about that museum is that they pay a lot of attention to curation.
Yes.
So how the space is made for the art to be lived in, and it's really. I was really impressed. Like, it was really high level. I really liked it.
Yeah, and then they have these huge rooms in one museum when they can put like some very big installations and
Maybe
and,
the size
and
helps a lot.
Yeah, and it's very, as you say, very well curated, like organized and.
Another. I don't know if it's a museum properly, but it's like a exhibition place or a gallery that I really liked. It's Titanic.
Oh,
It's funny because
I would say it's a gallery.
okay, maybe a gallery.
Art gallery. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah.
But I don't know if the things are for sale because usually I think in a gallery things are for sale. But I think in
They are
Titanic
not?
it's a lot
Oh.
focused on exhibiting,
Oh.
and I really liked it. And what I love about it is that it's such a small space, but I could spend 2 hours there because there is so much to get from it. Of course, in contemporary art, you don't always get it from the first sight. So I like to read what all the thing about the work and everything, and they always have those explanations in English, in
Yeah,
Finnish, in
that's cool.
Swedish.
Yeah.
Also, what I love is that it's a free gallery.
Yeah, it's
and
free.
It's
What I also like about Titanic is, as you say, is also that they are maybe the wildest gallery in Turku. I feel like they are the one who dare the most to go into the modern art that might not please everyone, but they really dare trying new things. I think, while other modern art, like for example, there's Aboa Vetus or Ars Nova, they also do modern art exhibitions sometimes, and sometimes they're good, but they stay. How do you say, like the opposite of underground?
Politically acceptable.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, and I like the
Yeah, I
gallery
get
and
that
museum
too.
who are really trying to provoke your mind. But
Mhm.
of course, I mean, classical art is great. I mean, Taide Museo also does wonderful thing, even if they stay more classical and
Mhm.
well, not always actually. Sometimes they do really groundbreaking. Like the last exhibition in Taide Museo. I don't know if you've seen.
The photography.
Yeah, the photography on the mountain. It's an artist. Is it from? I don't remember where she's from. Switzerland. Or no, actually, the thing happens in Switzerland, and she renames a mountain that was named after a famous racist person,
Oh.
and she renames the mountain as with the name of a slave in America that was actually referred to by this racist anthropologist, and so all the exhibition is about her work to give back all the honors to these slaves that were used to explain racist theories, and it's fascinating exhibition.
And Nathan,
Not on.
as an exchange student, how did you feel? Did you feel welcomed in this city?
I felt very welcomed, yes. But obviously I have a bit of an outsider point of view, so I might not be aware of all the events and everything that's going on at the moment or even when I was there.
But you can compare with Belgium.
Yeah, I can. To me, when it came to the question of is creation encouraged in Turku, I felt that during my exchange in Tuas in the art faculty, I was very encouraged verbally to do things like, yeah, do things, let's go. But then when it came to the supplies, the spaces, the like
Practical matters.
yeah, when it came to practical matters, I felt like it was lacking a little. In the final faculty, you have very traditional ways to do art, like painting, sculpting, drawing, some very basic things. But some people want to do, for example, textile. So what do you do when you do textile? It's a very specific technical thing. So I think those people were kind of left alone, and they had to learn on their own and go to sculptor because, oh, it's kind of a sculptor, textile. And
No. Okay.
so I just felt that at some point it was maybe not specific enough, or the follow-up was you had no expert to go towards to. But it's also a playground on its own. Like you can do a lot. You have a lot of things to experiment with. So that was cool. One thing that I wasn't really cool with is that there is no proper art supply store in Turku. Like you only have small bookshops or puppetries.
But you need to go to Helsinki if you want.
Yeah,
real
exactly. I was
supply.
asking like, okay, where do I buy my stuff? And someone said, well,
Helsinki.
in Helsinki, yeah.
I didn't think about this.
And I was thinking, well, I'm just a student in exchange. If I go to Helsinki, I have to take the train. So imagine if I was like a painter and I have to do a big canvas. I
cannot finish.
It doesn't fit. You have to bring a van or something. So I felt that there is a lot of space and there is a lot of encouragement that is coming from the art people. But when it comes to the means that we have around us, it's not always there to support it.
Okay.
And another thing that I noticed is maybe the street art, because where I come from in Liège and also in Brussels, we have a lot of street art.
Yeah.
We have a lot of sculptures in the street, a lot of painting on the walls. And in Turku, it's very absent.
Yes.
Like it's
Except from the beautiful posonka.
Yeah, even when people actually do make beautiful street art in Turku, they get painted over like this. They used to be really beautiful one near Kaupatori, and
Exactly. Yeah.
some advertising
I heard about
Viking
that.
line just
Oatly, we
painted over
hate
it.
Yeah, there is this street going to main square.
Mm.
There was this huge painting on the wall that was really beautiful, very colorful.
Yeah, with this man and
Yeah, there was a
holding
man
the
with a
hat.
hat
Yeah.
with very colors all around, and I think it was like painted around 2011, and it lasted for 10 years, so it was really nice. But recently they replaced it by advertising,
Yeah.
and I think that's really the kind of signs that really show you that as an artist or in this town, art is not supported, or there is companies that take over the field, you know. And
Yeah, better give the chances to companies that make money rather than
Yeah.
But actually, I know a lot of Turkulaiset who were annoyed by
Oh,
this ad.
almost all of them.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I think they were super disappointed.
everyone
to see
loved this painting, but actually we're talking about how companies are taking over and the city doesn't support. But actually, in Turku and in Finland in general, do you think that the general policies are helping artists? Are they? Is it easy to get fundings? Is it easy to get
I think
direct help by the state or the city or the?
so. Again, I'm just an outsider, and I might not be as well informed as people who really live here and who know every founding and everything. But what I think is that sometimes you have calls for opportunities and you have to apply, and it has to be very bureaucratic, and you have to have like sometimes a very official association to apply for it. And when the help comes, sometimes it's just okay, there is money, but you don't have like organizations that are already there for art and making active actions to support small artists. I feel that you
Okay.
already have to be something to get money.
Okay.
And then with the money, you do what you want. You do your thing.
Okay, so it goes the other way around.
I was
Yeah.
curious to ask Antti, how did you get fundings for the gay cabaret, for example?
Well, there are some organizations and who give these fundings, but it's not easy to get those.
Okay, yeah.
In general, yeah, and I'd say that financially, it is not encouraged to do art in Finland because it is easier to get money in other sectors. I'd say.
No exception then.
In my opinion, you have to love what you do if you want to do art, specifically theater. Or there's no point in doing it just for money.
No, of
Yeah,
course,
yeah,
but
clearly.
sometimes you can be
Yeah.
helped.
Yes, yes.
You need to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there are some organizations which is good in Finland. I think we get these apurahat.
yeah,
and
help money.
Yes,
yeah.
and it's good.
Grants.
But those aren't that easy to get. Yeah.
And so do you feel the same thing as Nathan said, that it's a lot of paperwork and administration
Yes.
stuff? Yeah. So
And you
all this time that you don't use for being creative.
Yeah, and you have to like apply for those
All the time.
help all the time. Yeah, that's part of the work.
I feel something that surprised me in Finland is that the cinema is really not popular. Probably because it's really expensive. Compared to France, for example, we have a lot of independent cinema where if you are a student, you can pay even €4 to watch a movie. Here it's 14 minimum.
Or more.
Yeah, more 18. And what surprised me is that a lot of people are going to the theater. On the opposite side.
This is something really beautiful here, that people
Yeah.
seem more interested in theater than in cinema, where in France it kind of feels like
It's
the
the
opposite.
contrary, yeah. You have the Spexi in the uni, and then a lot, like in Turku, you already have free theater, only one cinema. For me, I was really surprised by this.
In Turku,
Yeah,
aren't there? There are more.
more.
than
Cinema?
one. Yeah.
They are
I
hidden.
cannot just. I just think of the Finkino in the center, but
Yeah,
can you
then
say?
Please make me
there's
discover the others.
This Kino Diana and Kino Kopla, which is
Oh, Kinokopla sounds familiar.
Kinokopla is the festival, no?
no,
Where
it's
It's a cinema.
More independent.
yeah, but
Okay, I
actually
will
I
check
don't.
this after.
You have to check this because
Yeah, we'll put
I
it.
I don't know.
But we compare it a lot to France. But what is it like in Belgium? Like, do you feel like about the theater and cinema thing?
Well, cinemas are definitely more popular than theaters.
Okay, yeah.
But I feel that there is also a lot of people going to theaters. And in Brussels, we have big theaters that do big plays, but also small theaters that do small plays. So we also have puppet theater. So it's also really, there is a big variety of things to see. And I don't know if people do it on a regular basis or if they just like to experiment once and they talk a lot about it. You know, like when you do something you like, but you just do it once, but then you keep talking about it again and again. And it feels like you do it all the time, but you just did it once.
I went once a year.
Yeah. But I feel that I can hear a lot of those events. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I gotta ask: are there many puppet theaters in your town?
In my hometown, actually, it's a bit funny because we have like a character related to the town, like it's like the embodiment of the typical
Yeah, we have one
guy
in
who
Lyon
lives there.
also.
And there is a lot of theater around him. Like his name is Chanche, and you have a lot
Chanche.
of it's Liégeois.
Cool.
And I can relate a lot the theaters that we have to that guy, but it's very around traditions, and it's a lot for children and for old people. Sometimes we also have, I think, theater in the old dialect of the town,
Wow.
le Wallon. But I feel that they are very exotic things. Even if they are very traditional, they are things that you do just once a year or something. So I think theater is a bit more a thing in Brussels than in Liège.
And even more in Finland. And even more in Turku.
Finland and in Turku.
And
yes.
even more in the center. Oh, whatever.
I had another question, a bit more personal. I wanted to ask you, as artists, why did you start to create?
Well, I think it happened very naturally. And I actually can't remember a time when I wasn't creative.
Ooh.
Because I know that when I was maybe 3 years old, I participated in a drawing competition. At least since that I've been creative. I think it's just really natural for me to be creative, and I need to be creative all the time somehow. And I believe everyone is creative in their own way.
So it's a drawing competition at 3.
Yes, that was the spark.
What was the drawing?
A boat. I drew a boat, but it's really important to me to create things.
As braving.
Yeah, it's funny how with children it often all starts with a visual, with the drawing, with the painting. That's what gives the sparkle. It was the case also for me. I was making drawing and I was sending it to this famous French children book author, Claude Ponty.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So cool.
and I was sending him my drawing and he was answering back saying,
Oh, wow,
yes.
he was answering.
I'm so jealous. He received letters from Claude Ponty.
Wow.
And so again it was drawing, and some of us covered other kind of art after that, but others stayed in the visual and drawing kind, like you, Nathan. Did it all start with a drawing also?
Well, I was definitely drawing as a kid a lot. I can remember that in my classmates, people were calling me, the drawer, or the one who draws, and
Like the furniture, the drawing.
Nathan, can you draw me a cool Pokemon, please?
Yeah, the Pokemon.
yeah. And I was kind of envisioning myself as becoming a professional artist who draws, for a
Already?
living. Yeah, when I was a kid. But I must be honest that I kind of drifted away from that for a moment when I was going to high school, because I felt like suddenly, having good grades is important. We have to make a living and stuff like that. So I was kind of preparing myself to be a really good student, to have a job that could give me money, but that was achievable, So I was really going to be like a French teacher, actually.
Hola.
Like
So
before-
both you were studying actually your own language. It's
literatures
funny.
and
Coincidence.
So just before going to university, I applied. I registered myself, because in Belgium you just register and you go and you don't apply. I registered myself to university for French literature studies to become a French teacher. And then in September, I had like a big doubt about my life and everything. Like, who am I doing this for? You know, like, is this just to make my mom happy that I get money so she doesn't worry too much? And in the end, I was with a group of friends, and they were already in art school, and they told me, you belong there. You should go there, because when we see you, when we are together, you are an artist and you belong there. So I
Good
just
friends.
threw myself, really good advice. I threw myself into the wild, because it was for me very wild to just like say, okay, let's throw everything into the trash and let's do what I want, you know, for once. Like I want to allow myself to, because it's one thing to be creative, but then it's another thing to allow yourself to express your creativity. And I decided to do that, and it went really well. Like now I don't regret anything. I really, my life has completely changed, because even though you have this insight of being a bit talented, you learn a lot in art school. And I really became another person thanks to art school, and I'm really happy of what art school made of me.
Yeah, that's a thing that's a bit sad, but I feel like it's always kind of been like that. Artists in general, I've always kind of been disregarded for not doing real work, for not working for real. So how do you relate to that? What do you think of that? Can you just tell people that yes, art is real work, like you
Yes, for
actually
sure.
invest yourself. You have an actual job when you're an artist,
Yeah,
right?
I've seen both of these guys training, so
Yeah.
I can testify.
Yeah, that requires a lot of work to do. For instance, a theater show or something, and I wonder why people say that kind of comments, and maybe it's just that they don't know about the artwork. So
Yeah, they see the final
Yeah.
product.
Yeah, so
Exactly.
maybe that's why it's good. That's why I think it's really good nowadays. For example, on social media, like let's take Instagram, for example, or TikTok. You see
The documentation.
yes,
of the
and
work.
there are a lot of artists now, before or after showing the final painting, for example, they do time lapse of how they painted it, all the path that led them to that, and I think that's cool, because that's people can actually see what everything that's behind.
I was just wondering, because Antti, you did also a master's degree before switching to full-time theater student. What made you decide, okay, now I really want to become an artist?
actually, Nathan, I found some similarities, because my friends said to me that, Antti, you should apply to that theater school.
Everyone should
And-
have friends.
Yes, everyone should have friends. That's for sure.
The lesson of the day.
And also Arts Academy. That there is this pedagogical thing also. So what interested me, because I was a teacher already. And
so you could teach also theater. To
yes,
okay.
yes, that's it.
I have one last question. To whom would you dedicate your work? You don't have to limit yourself to one person, of course.
You can dedicate it to the whole world, dedicate it to your audience.
I think that my quick answer would be to no one, maybe, or maybe just to myself.
Yeah, I was thinking to
Yeah.
yourself.
Because I feel that when you do art, you kind of embrace the deepness of yourself, you know, and you put out there things that you kept inside. Also, I think it's important that a lot of people who are art students that I've seen around me, you know, they were a bit the artists of the family. So they've always been very praised for what they do and everything, but in the circle of their family. And they might not be conscious of how much of an artist they actually are or not, because they've been maybe blinded.
Biased,
Biased and blinded by the comments of their loving ones around them. But when you go to art school, we are all the artists of our families, you know. So in the end, we are no one anymore. And I think it's an important step in your artistic journey to think that you shouldn't make art for mommy, daddy, or, you know, to please your grandparents.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they restrain themselves. Because when it comes to doing art, sometimes you have to be really harsh. You have to treat subjects that are not pretty to bring in a family dinner, you know.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to forget about the people who are going to look at your art, and you shouldn't do your art for someone. Like I don't think that's the purpose of art personally. That's my very
Yeah.
personal
You
opinion.
center it on yourself. You know, like
Yeah, I
that's,
think it's very like egotistical to do art. Like you talk about yourself, but it's also always your point of view on things, and then you build something out of that. But when I do art, I don't really think about someone to dedicate it to. Maybe I have some specific projects, that will aim to be dedicated to someone who fought for something or to a certain subject that is really talking to me in a certain way. But in general, I don't see myself as an artist for someone. I see myself as an artist in the universe,
Ooh. Great.
Wow. Now, Antti, you have to answer after this.
Yes. Thank you, Nathan. But actually, that's a really good point that you can't please anyone. I've noticed, especially maybe when I'm doing improv, and if I'm like pleasing the audience, and I start to think what they would like to see or hear, it's a mistake every time. It just goes. It doesn't go well. So you can't please anyone, and maybe I also say that I wouldn't dedicate my art to anyone. I love to share my art with anyone who likes it, and it would be great if somebody heard my music or saw my performing and got something, inspiration or spark or something. That would be really great. But I wouldn't say I dedicate it to I love to service the art itself, but
Are you dedicated to anyone who will like it?
yes.
Or to the universe.
To the
like
universe.
names.
Yes.
You are man of the universe.
Man of the universe.
You too.
Okay.
I would like to ask you as a conclusion, do you have some things to advise to the auditors? For example, Antti, do you have shows to advise? I was thinking of Ronja.
Or maybe theater places in Turku that we should keep an eye on because they do great things.
And I heard you do improv also.
Yes. First of all, go to theater. There are lots of summer theaters in Varsinais-Suomi, and you can make a tour in Varsinais-Suomi. And Ronja Ryövärintytar is in Vartiovuori. And then me and my colleague, we have this improvisation duo, Kommenttiraita, comment track in English.
That's where I know you from because I recognize you and I didn't. Okay, Kommenttiraita, you are these two guys with a guitar and people in the audience give you IDs and you
so
make sounds.
famous.
I saw you and I loved it.
Okay.
You watched it. It was in
Okay.
Finnish.
It was in Finnish, yeah. It was in the courtyard of Brenkala a year or two ago.
Well, we're going on a tour and we're making songs of Turku. And actually in Turun päivä, which is in September, we're making a concert.
Great.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Impro music. That's
Nathan,
wonderful.
do you
That's
have some
wonderful.
recommendations?
Well, this August there is this animation festival in Turku, the TAF festival. Last year I went and they have a great selection. Like the films are really nice. It's mostly short films, just so you know, because sometimes people are not aware that in the
It lasts 1 minute.
no, but yeah, sometimes it does. It's just in this animation field, it's a lot of work. So to make a lot of time, we are always most of the time we are alone and everything. So it's mostly animation shorts.
How does this festival go? Is it in a particular place or is it happening in a screening place like a cinema?
I don't know about this year, and I don't know if it's every year the same, but at least last year it was in Manila Theatre.
Okay, Manila.
So they have like screenings of compilations of shorts and different categories, like national, international students. When it comes to maybe my film, well, I hope it will be maybe screened in the festivals in Belgium, in Brussels. We have the Anima Animation Festival, and it will be in February. So
We will keep you in
yes.
touch.
let's keep our
Wonderful.
fingers crossed.
Yeah.
One last place I'd like us to mention because it kind of blend all of your two arts guide, the visual art and the performance one, is the Taitetalo. People should keep an eye on this place, right? Because there are theater performance. We played there with Noemi. We did a play there. There are exhibition. Like right now, there's a painting exhibition about the war in Ukraine. Do you know more about this place? Maybe Antti, you've been actively participating in
Well,
this place.
somehow, yeah, and I think it's about 2 years old, so it's kind of new. Yeah, there are lots of theaters and many kinds of shows and so on, but I think they are still like
Development?
developing it. So
Yeah, and it's an amazing place because really it's a big building. They can put a lot of things in it, and what I like about it is it's very eclectic. There's all kind of arts happening in this place. I mean, the name in English means the House of Arts.
yeah, and in the yard also.
Yeah,
There are festivals and
yeah.
concerts.
Even
Yeah, this weekend.
okay,
When you will listen to this episode, it will
Yeah.
be done already.
Yes.
But there is Ilmio.
But that's a recommendation.
yeah, but the
For
whole
next
summer,
year.
during the whole summer, and even the whole year, maybe there are things happening in that place, so you should check it out.
Okay, well, thank you guys. And we will put in the description all the links to your projects.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was a
very
pleasure welcoming you
Yeah.
here.
Moikka!
Bye bye.
much. Bye.
Oh, it's a sunny day.